Hey everybody, welcome to Video Game Corner. I'm J-Tos.
I'm Freddy.
And today we're going to be talking about Assassin's Creed 3. Stop laughing. Stop it.
Alright.
I've been sitting around on YouTube and I've been watching all these game reviewers, all these mainstream reviewers sitting there. They always got some cute little goofy chick with pigtails. Hi, I'm Game Blowjobber, and I'm going to tell you how great Assassin's Creed 3 is.
Right.
Because it's so awesome! Well, I have news for you guys. It's not.
It's not.
Assassin's Creed 3 sucks. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't hate the game, but it's not a good game. It does have some good stuff in it, but it's not a good game. And I'm getting tired of seeing all these reviewers, and they're always these phony... You know, if any of you gamers remember those guys in high school and those girls in high school that you hated, the popular crowd, that's what these people are reviewing these games.
They're pandering to the actual game, well, to the companies, right?
Well, yeah, they're probably paid off, is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're not, and I'm getting sick and tired of watching these reviews. And watching everybody, even guys like Angry Joe, who are supposed to be angry, who do these funny little... And his review of Assassin's Creed 3 was funny, but he still had a big dumb smile on his face, talking about how great the game was. It had problems. Yeah, whatever, man. It's got a lot of problems, that's true. But you know what? The game is just... It sucks. It's got a lot of... It's just shit. It's complete garbage. Look, I've beat the game. Freddy can't even finish it. Tell him why you can't finish it, Freddy.
I can't get into the story for some reason. I just can't. It just... Bleh. That's what I feel. As I'm playing, I feel like, oh my god, seriously? I even throw the controller on the floor. I'm like, you know what? I'm out.
Okay. Right here... When Freddy and I went down and we got the car, see, we went halvesies on it because we're poor, and so we decided to just go halves. Well, I had the extra $30, and I went ahead and bought the extra content from GameStop, and I've got my codes and stuff here. That's my receipt and everything, and with my code, and I haven't bothered to put it in yet and do the extra missions. Just haven't bothered. You know, everybody keeps talking about, all these reviewers, they all have one thing in common, and I agree with them that there's this part where you get a boat, you get a ship. It's kind of like a pirate ship type thing.
That was actually pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, and you get to go around, you get to have these sea battles, and it's really fun. But when that's the best part of the game...
That's a big problem right there.
That's a problem, and that's what this has turned into. Everybody's talking about, it's the one thing everybody points out about how great the game is, and yeah, it's a good part, but when that's the best part of the game, it sucks. And the things they talk about that are bad are the glitches. You know what? The glitches aren't a big deal.
Yeah,
they fix glitches. That's why every time you go into your PSP or PS3, sorry, and you play the game, and it gives you an upload, it makes you upload or download a patch. Because they send the patches through, and that's what gets rid of those stupid little glitches. The little glitches are nothing. I'm here to talk about the story, the character development, the side missions, everything. Now, let's go back in time, and let's talk about the second 3 games. Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood, and... Revelations. Now, we have Ezio, who is this really, really charismatic character. He's a young man of wealth. He's wealthy. He's a wealthy young man. His father is an assassin. His father gets killed. His family gets killed, except what? His sister?
Yeah, his sister and his mother.
His sister and his mother. They escape. And he becomes an assassin, and he, employs assassins, and he does all these things in these 3 games, and he's on this lifelong mission. And he's kind of like the Batman of the Renaissance, in a way.
Yeah.
And that's what he kind of reminds me of, because he is just this guy who's just so determined to stop the Templars. And when you go through, it's like my favorite is Brotherhood, where you rebuild Rome.
Oh, that one's cool.
And it actually matters. You feel like you're accomplishing something. Like, I play a lot of RPGs, and every time I level up in an RPG, I feel like I've accomplished something. And I felt like that in Brotherhood. Every time I do something, I accomplish something. Or every time I built up one of my assassins to where he was like assassin level, I felt like I accomplished something.
Yep.
And it took a long time to do. There's a lot of grinding in that game.
Yep.
And I played the hell. I put like 40 hours into the second game, and then I probably put in another 30 hours into each of the others. I put about 100 hours into all 3 games. And I don't regret any of it. They were great. I didn't even do every little thing. I did as much as I could.
The nice thing about those games were also that they had the platforming to getting your armor.
That was my favorite. As you know, that's my favorite part.
Those were the you work hard and you get something.
Right. There was always, like, for some of you who've never played the game, there's these 6 hidden areas, and they weren't that hidden, but you knew they existed because
6 tombs.
6 tombs or 6 whatever, and you would always go in, and it would be this platforming challenge, and you'd have to go around to get and you get a different was it key or
it was a key.
It was a key. And you would get all 6 keys, and then you'd go into this place where this armor was locked up. You go in there, and it upgraded all your stats. And let me tell you, those are fun.
Yes, they are.
I love platforming. I love games where I platform. I grew up playing a lot of Metroid, Mario. I love platforming games. Now, a lot of people. I hear from my friends of mine, like everybody knows our friend Linda. She emails me. She says, it's funny. I was talking about Assassin's Creed and how I just didn't really like the game. She says, it's really weird. I have friends that, she says, I don't play new games, but I have friends that do, and they're all saying the same thing. Assassin's Creed is just not very good. She says, I went and looked at some reviews online, and they're all talking about how great the game is. And it's like, yeah.
They're like, it's funny, you get one side saying, oh, it's all great and stuff like that, but you get actual gamers who actually have an opinion and say, it sucked. What happened?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't know. We can tell you what we think, and the thing is that people are wondering what the hell's going on. Everybody was so excited for this game because the second set of games were so good, and so we're all excited. We're all like, "Whoa, we're getting a new character." Everybody loved Ezio, and Ezio's story is just really good. So we're getting this new character, and it's about this guy named Connor. And basically, and you know what? This video is going to have tons of spoilers, so if you don't want spoilers, just don't watch it. But it's got spoilers because we're not caring at this point. So you start out playing the game as Connor's father, who's a British guy, and he's going through, and he's like this assassin, and he's going and fighting. And then there's this twist where you find out that his father is actually a Templar.
That was actually pretty interesting.
That was pretty good. The game started out very strong, and you're thinking, "Oh wow, that's really cool." I'm getting excited.
Yeah.
And of course, the graphics in the game are good. We're talking about PS3, Xbox 360. The graphics, they're not good. They better be good. That's like saying in a new film, it's got good special effects. It better have good special effects. 2013 or 2012, back the last movie we saw. It better have good special effects. And that doesn't make it good. You look at this and it starts out really good, and I'm thinking, and he has you talking to Benjamin Franklin, and you're running around finding these pages that you go take to him. Now, when you found pages in the second series and you took them back to Leonardo da Vinci, you would get upgrades to your armor and your weapons. These, they don't do shit. There is no reason to do any of the side missions in these games. I remember going through and doing all where you climb the top of the buildings. I remember it was really hard. Ezio would have to climb, and he'd have to find his way up and go around the building, and you'd have to really think about it. and figure it out sometimes. In these, you just climb up and you're done. It was not even a challenge. It's boring.
Yep.
Eventually, I just quit caring because I wasn't going to do this, because I found out later. And then you do the side missions and you build up your house and you do all these things. You build up your community as Ezio, but in this game you don't. You're supposed to build it up, but who cares if you do? It doesn't even matter. You're building things like barrels. You're getting stuff to build barrels, and I'm thinking to myself, barrels?
Why?
Yeah, what am I building barrels for? What a waste. It's a complete fucking waste.
Yep.
And eventually you just don't care. And then I go to find little treasures, and I'm like, I finally quit caring about that. I'm like, what am I even bothering finding them for? They're sitting out on the ground. They're not even like hidden in anywhere. Some of them are, but most of them are just like in a spot on your map. You know where they're at. You just go find them, and that's it. And I don't care about finding them on the map. I mean, who cares? I mean, there's treasures all over in the second series. They were hidden all around and sitting out in the open. But I didn't mind so much about that, but, you know, that was like a little small side thing in the second series.
Yep.
This is one of the big things that they want you to do, is find all these things. And then you have to find all these pages. And when you see the pages, they say blow away, and then you don't see them again. It's like, who cares? I just got to the point where I just didn't care about them anymore. And I don't know, it's just... And then when you get on the rooftops, the men are like, get off here, and then they start shooting at you before you can even get away.
That's true.
And it was like, well, you know, give me a chance to get off, and they don't. I don't know. It was just badly designed.
Another thing that I loved about the other ones was going into stealth mode. Like you could sneak up on somebody. On this one, you can't even like crouch down and sneak up on anybody. The minute you they detect you up, they start shooting at you.
Yeah, I don't know. I remember going in. I did like the forts. I will say that. I'd go into the forts and you'd kind of sneak around and you'd have to listen in on their conversations, things like that. I liked doing that, but you know, you could go around. You'd have to basically take their flag, and then the American troops would show up, and it was fun enough. It just kind of, you know, reminded me like when in the second series when you'd go and like take out the Borgias.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty fun, and it was similar to that kind of stuff. But I played the whole game. I didn't upgrade any of my weapons. I didn't upgrade any of my armor. I didn't upgrade anything, and I beat the game. I didn't upgrade anything. I didn't care. You didn't have to. I used my tomahawk and my rope dart the entire game, and it didn't matter. And then Connor, the character of Connor, the assassin, he's this half Native American, half English guy, and his father is that Templar guy, and his mother is this Indian woman that he meets, and she gets killed in a fire early in the game. And then it's like, okay, she dies, and you feel bad for him, and then he goes to this guy to learn how to be an assassin, and what was his name, Caesar or Augustus or something like that. Caesar, I think his name was, this old black guy. And he's I actually liked his character. I thought he was really cool. He was kind of like like he had like this Alfred quality, like in Batman. But after that, it's like he was just a good character. Otherwise, it wouldn't have mattered. He didn't do anything. He was just an interesting character. He had, like, to me, and a lot of people, I've seen people disagree on it. They don't think that he was good at all, but I liked him. But Connor basically is this, he's this brooding, emo, woe is me type of warrior. And, he has no, like, flair, no personality. He's not Ezio. Ezio was charming even in Revelations when he was like 52 years old, and he's talking to that one lady like, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" He was Mr. Smooth Talker over there, But that's Ezio. Connor's nothing smooth about him. He's just very wooden, and you know what? I didn't even mind that as much. Then on top of that, you go back and forth, and you're playing as Desmond Miles. Or is it Miles Desmond? It's Desmond Miles. That's right. And you go to his thing, and I did like that they got John Delancey, who played Q from Star Trek, to play the voice of his father. I'd like that. I thought that was cool. So he goes in, and you play his storyline, which, you know, in all the games, his storyline's not as big a deal, but he is the one. If in actuality, he's the one playing the game. You know, he's the one that is in control of the story. They're accessing his memories through the Animus. So you play him, and then at the end of it, he ends up having to decide, at the end of the game, this is a big spoiler here, there's two different versions of not the aliens, but the people that were here before us. The technologically advanced civilization that was here before humans. And their holograms appear, and they say, Desmond, you gotta choose. And if you choose this way, people are gonna live, but the world's most of them are gonna die. And if you choose this way, everybody's gonna die.
Wow.
And I'm like, huh?
Makes no sense.
Yeah, either everybody's gonna die and like the whole world's gonna be destroyed, or most people are gonna die, but some people are gonna live, and there's hope. And it's like, okay, but they don't even let you choose. Desmond just has a little hissy fit and runs off. I choose blah, I don't care. And he just runs off. And it's just like, okay, and you're just like, what a stupid ending. It was just bad. See, Connor had kind of a cool ending. He goes to Caesar's grave and hides something in there. So Desmond actually has to go to his grave and dig it up to get this this thing he needs. The thing that the whole thing in the game, the whatever relic, I forget. That's how. No, it wasn't the apple, but or was it? No, Desmond has the apple. He actually uses it in the game to save his father because they kidnap his father. And I don't know, you just after a while you're just like, the story's just lost itself, and it's an insult to fans because they did such a good job with the second set of games. Even the first game was good, and they did for the first 4 games they did these amazing stories. They just kept getting better and better, and then they just like. It's like they peaked, and then they just took a dump over everybody. And it's like, why?
And people just accepted it, which is sad.
I don't think people are just accepting it, to be honest with you. I think people are pissed.
Right.
I think the real fans are pissed off, and we're getting tired of all these stupid reviews out there telling us how great it is. I give it 9 angry bears out of 10. Fuck you. And your stupid ass. You know, we're getting tired of hearing this. Give us an honest review.
Yeah.
We're getting tired of hearing. Oh, I want to walk around and I want to show my titties and tell everyone how great it is. Nobody gives a shit about you or your titties. Okay? Tell us the truth about this game that we've paid our hard-earned money to play. Stop bullshitting. Stop being a fucking drone. And that's the problem. Everybody's a drone, and they all want to just do and say whatever they're told to say. And she couldn't even. I mean, you could tell she's reading off a teleprompter. She says, "You can shoot it off the bow of the ship." The bow of the ship. That's what she says. Yeah, the bow. And I'm just like, what is she doing? Reading it off a teleprompter? And then they couldn't edit it and say, hey, dummy. It's bow, not bow. You have to shoot it off the bow of the ship. It's like, no, it's the bow of the ship. You know, and that's the kind of crap you see. She's probably just some dumb chick that they got for eye candy. And I can't remember what review it was. We were watching a few reviews, and we're just trying to find an honest review.
They're all sheeple.
They are all sheeple, exactly. We're trying to find an honest review. And stop fiddling with your hands. All through the last video, he's doing this the whole time. Stop fiddling with your hands. Everybody's tired of it. I'm getting comments. I think you're over here playing with yourself. I didn't get any comments. I just like fucking with him on that. But yeah, stop fiddling with your hands. Put them in your... Fiddle. Sit on your hands and stop it. Jeez, man.
Fiddle, fiddle?
Fiddle, faddle. That's that caramel popcorn. Stuff's good. You know me and that caramel popcorn. It's my kryptonite. can't stop eating it.
You're getting off topic.
What?
You're getting off topic.
I'm getting off topic. So anyway, so we're watching this woman, and we're watching these reviews, and we're just trying to find one, just one, to just say, hey, the game is more than just a few problems. The game is a problem. And nothing. And, you know, we're going to actually go and see if we can find the lesser-known people, because we'll probably get some honesty from them, I hope. Unless they're just idiots that just think, you know, because it's Assassin's Creed, it has to be good. You need to be honest with your reviews. Sometimes games, the series may be great, they may have a stinker in the series. We all remember the N64 Castlevanias. They sucked.
Yep.
And we're okay with that. Not every Beatles song was good, okay? It just like that. So, guys, just, you know, if you guys still want to play the game, go ahead and play it. It's not the worst game on the planet. It's really not. It's not a first-person shooter, so at least it's got that going for it. Because we all know why first-person shooters suck, right? There's no peripheral vision. It's just... That's why first-person shooters suck. All you Call of Duty guys can kiss my ass, by the way. Real gamers play Castlevania.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm just kidding, guys. I'm just fucking with you. I played Wolfenstein 3D back when I was in the 80s, when I was in high school. I actually liked it, but
that's a different kind of shooter, you know.
Well, it's first person. It was just like one of the first. It was like the first real one. Same guys. Those are the guys that made Doom later. But anyway, it's, you know, Assassin's Creed 3 could have been a really amazing game, but instead it
fell short.
It fell very short, and instead of making something that, you know, could have been epic, and that word gets thrown around a lot. And the funny thing is, on these reviews, they kept saying it was epic. It wasn't epic. It was very, very toned down film. You know, it was like watching, like, the second films were Lord of the Rings. And this was like some B film with some guy, you know, on the prairie or something. And it's just, it fell so short. And, you know, to all you mainstream reviewers, stop. I know you guys are getting bought off and paid for, and maybe
Stop
you guys
being sheeple.
Stop being sheeple. Maybe you guys, I know you guys are getting bought off and paid for, but you know, please, you're only hurting the gaming community. You're only hurting the people that you're supposed to be representing. Mm-hmm. And you know, we're pleading with you to stop. Please give honest reviews and honest opinions. Not every game is going to be good, and just because they pay you, say, you know what, I'm not taking payments for reviews. You should never take a payment for make the game companies rise to the occasion. Make them make a good product.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of good products out there. Ubisoft makes a lot of good stuff. But this is where they fell short. And you know, we need to be honest about it. Not everybody, you know, it's okay to have a stinker. It happens. But to sit there and say it's a good game, it's a lie.
Yeah, it's an insult.
It is an insult. And hopefully they can make another game and fix a lot of this. Maybe they can, you know, just make a good story and we'll forgive them for it. But the gamers aren't happy. They're pissed off. You go to GameStop and you read their online reviews and comments from people. And a lot of people are like giving it a 1. Wow. Then you got people giving it a 10, saying, "I love this game." It's like sheeple. They just have the blinders on. They just have the blinders and they just say it's Assassin's Creed. It's got to be good. You know, it's like if they made a third. Let's say they make as Arkham Asylum 2 or Arkham City 2, and it sucks. And it would break my heart if it sucks. And then everyone's going to say, "Oh, it's a great movie because it's a Batman. It's a great game because it's a Batman game." And it would just totally break my heart to see that. And you know what? If that does happen, we'll be up here again because we're big-time Arkham Asylum and Arkham City players.
Yep.
We love those games. On the PS3, that is like my top favorite two games. That and like the God of War series and the Castlevania Lords of Shadow. And I know people are going to say, there's a lot of people say, oh, Lords of Shadow isn't all that good. But you know what?
It was a great movie. It was a great game.
It was a great game. And they say, oh, it's a God of War clone. Well, you know what? God of War is a ripoff. You look at games like Rygar, the legendary, I think a legendary warrior or legendary something from PS2. Rygar was completely, God of War ripped that off. And if you go back even further, back to the PS1, Soul Reaver did the wall climbing and everything like God of War. So, you know, taking positive elements from a game and putting it into another game and then giving its own story is okay. Mm-hmm. And they did that with Castlevania Lords of Shadow because the story's not the same. The gameplay is a lot like other games. It's got a lot of Shadow of the Colossus, the God of War, or let's just say Soul Reaver. And it's also got Dante's Inferno, like when he powers up. And you know what? It's okay. Because those are three games I'd like to have my game compared to. So, yeah, we're going off topic again, but let's just say, you know what? Let's just end it here that Assassin's Creed 3 could have been a better game, and we were really let down. It does have some good things, but it's mostly bad. Mm-hmm. As opposed to what all the mainstream critics are saying, that it's mostly good with a few flaws. Yeah. And it's like, no, it's mostly flaws. The best thing in it is the ships, where you do battle with the ships.
And that's just very, very sad.
That's sad. That is sad. That's sad. That's the best thing. It's sad that you don't really care about the rest of the game, except you're just trying to get through it and play the story. And some of the parts of the game are done really well, but most of it just isn't. Most of it is just it's just boring.
Yeah.
And it was hard to get through. And I just rushed through it. I played the game in like 4 days just to get it over with, and because I was going to lend it to him. It was his turn to take the game. He let me play it first, and he can't even get through it. I mean, and he loves these games. He turned me onto these games,
yep.
And he can't get through them. So there you have it. So
and an honest, real review of the actual game.
Yeah, we're not going to throw any game footage or anything. We just decided to do this on the fly. We were just hanging out today, and we just said, you know what? Let's just talk about it, and let's just give an honest opinion about it. So. I guess that's all. You got anything else to say?
I'm good.
I don't either. I'm J-Tos.
I'm Freddy.
Comment and subscribe. Let us know what you guys think. This is Video Game Corner, and this has been an honest Assassin's Creed 3 review.